How to use a spectrophotometer. Spectrophotometer is an instrument used to measure the amount of light of a particular wavelength absorbed by a sample in solution. It is primarily used to identify substances and determine their concentration. A spectrophotometer measures the light intensity at selected wavelengths. Its components include a light source for generating beams of light of specific wavelengths from that source, special holding devices known as cuvettes containing samples through which light beams are passed, and detectors that can measure the intensity of light that has passed through a sample. Once the spectrophotometer has been plugged in, make sure to turn on the power switch. Once the spectrophotometer is loaded, it will take you to the home menu where you will find 3 headings. The one you will use most of the year will be the Spec 200E Modern Interface. To click on this, you will use the arrow keys and press Enter. It'll take you to this page where you will find the application measurement model absorbance. You will use that most of the year to find the absorbance readings. It will then show up as this. You will find a specific wavelength, which is the 421, and the absorbance reading, which now reads 0. You could also use the knob to change the wavelengths according to where you want to measure the absorbance or the highest absorbance rate reading. To determine the absorbance of the solution, you must fill one of the cuvettes with the solution and place it in the compartment located inside the spectrophotometer. After you take the absorbance of water, you must zero out the absorbance reading of it by clicking on the 0 button to make sure you do not include the water but only the color dye in it. It is important that you do not fill the cuvette all the way up. In case there is more than one color in your solution, there is another way to find the absorbance, which is using this graph. To get this graph, you must go back to the home menu where you will find the heading that says Spec 200E Modern Interface. Once you have clicked it, use the right arrow key to navigate to the application scan page. You will see that it says measurement mode, which is at absorbance, and 2 wavelengths, a range of 2 wavelengths, which is 400 to 900. Do not move these. Press OK and continue to the next step. This graph will then show up, and you have to open up the spectrophotometer and place the cuvette with the sample solution in it inside the cuvette. Close the lid and press OK to record the absorbance.
The highest peaks show the maximum absorbance of light within the solution.
The first peak shows the red solution's maximum absorbance reading, and the lower one is the blue solution with the lowest absorbance reading, and the only one we care about is the first peak because the amount of absorbance from the red solution equals the concentration or the amount of caffeine in it. And that is how you use a spectrophotometer.